This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. Coming up on today's show, how does this keep happening this year for the 49ers? And we have to have an honest conversation about head coach Kyle Shanahan. What he's been able to do with this football team so far this year has been highly impressive, and he deserves to be in the mix for Coach of the Year. And it's pretty crazy that with all of the success that he's had, he's never won Coach of the Year. But I think what he's done so far this season, maybe the best coaching job he's had since he joined the Niners back in 2017. But let's begin here with topic number one. How does this keep happening this year for San Francisco? And why do they keep struggling in this particular area? When you think of head coach Kyle Shanahan's offense, obviously it's been instrumental across the entire NFL. And it goes down in history as one of the more popular and league-defining offenses and schemes over the course of football history. I mean, his fingerprints are all across the NFL as far as offensive football goes. That's why a lot of his proteges and assistants who have worked under him have gotten head coaching jobs elsewhere. That's why elements of his scheme are all across the league. But specifically with his offense, whether it be Shanahan or somebody else who's running a Kyle Shanahan type of offense, you think about an offense that leans on the ground game. An offense where the run game is the backbone of it. A very run-happy and run-heavy approach. This offense is built off of the outside zone ground scheme. And in a patented way, that opens up the pass game. Because Kyle Shanahan's pass game, I wouldn't say it's innovative or modern day. It has some old school elements to it because you see a lot of 5-step drops and 7-step drops. Some of the protection schemes are a little bit old school, but he runs that play action off the ground game because it gives this Niners offense a lot of much needed balance. And then the defense is on its heels with the pre-snap motion, all of the window dressing. As a defense, you can get caught off guard, you can get confused, and it's a very difficult offense to prepare for when the pass game is humming and the run game is operating in the way that we've seen it operate in the past, right? And in Kyle Shanahan's offense, since he took the head coaching job in 2017, how many running backs have we seen have success for San Francisco? And what's so impressive about the running production, it's been a revolving door as far as different players leading the team in rushing, having really good years. But outside of Christian McCaffrey, there really hasn't been a bona fide star running back under Shanahan. You plug in a running back, and oftentimes that running back is able to find success. In 2017, how about this name? Carlos Hyde led the Niners in rushing with 938 yards. In 2018, Matt Breida led the Niners in rushing yards with 814. In 2019, the year that the Niners went to the Super Bowl, Raheem Mostert led the team in rushing yards with 772. The following year, Niners were very injured. Jeff Wilson was not. Led the team in rushing yards with 600. In 2021, Elijah Mitchell, rookie campaign, ran for 963 yards. Then the Niners traded for Christian McCaffrey, and in 2022, he led the club in rushing, even though he joined the team near the midway point of the season. 746 rushing yards then. In 2023, he won NFL Offensive Player of the Year, led the NFL in rushing with nearly 1,500 rushing yards. And then last year with CMC hurt, it was Jordan Mason who led the Niners in rushing yards. And obviously he missed some time, but still was able to accumulate 789 yards on the ground. And some of you might say, Chase, this isn't having a lot of success. I mean, there's only been Christian McCaffrey who's run for more than 1,000 yards. It's also been running back by committee, where a bunch of backs, and Kyle Juszczyk as the fullback, are able to find success on the ground. And so that list features a bunch of backs putting up nice numbers, right? Which brings me to this point and this question. What is going on with the Niners run game this year? And how have their struggles persisted all throughout the 2025 campaign? It's pretty nutty that the 49ers are 4-1 right now. They don't have an interception on defense, and on offense, they can't run it successfully. And Christian McCaffrey looks pretty damn good. 91 carries for him, 282 yards, 3.1 yards per carry, 0 rushing touchdowns. The Niners are the only team in the NFL going into week 6 that does not have a rushing touchdown. For a Kyle Shanahan-led offense, that is shocking. That is jaw-dropping. And you look at some of these numbers here. First, with the Niners rushing attack, their rush play percentage, they're running it less than usual because Kyle Shanahan knows we can't run the damn ball. Their rush play percentage, 39.94%. That ranks 24th in the NFL. Their yards per rush, 3.1. Dead last in the NFL. Their rushes per game, this is attempts, 27.8. That's 12th in the league. But their rushing yards per game, 85.2, bottom of the league, 28th in the National Football League. And their rushing touchdowns per game, again, no rushing touchdowns this season, 0, ranks 32nd in the NFL. And then when you look at some of the advanced numbers and the other notable rushing data points for San Francisco, they are dead last in run block win rate. They are number 31 in stuffed run percentage, and they are also dead last in negative run percentage. How often have you seen this year where Christian McCaffrey or Brian Robinson, they get a carry, right? And then immediately they are met in the backfield for TFLs or minimal gains. It has happened on a consistent basis at a consistent clip, and I don't think this is sustainable for San Francisco for the rest of the year. And SF Data 49ers on X always puts out these great graphics. Shout out to him. And he put out this one. Negative run percentage among the 32 teams in the NFL. Who would have thunk it that going into 2025, the bottom 2 teams with Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey would be the Eagles and the 49ers? But that's the reality so far going into week 6. So many negative running plays for both Philadelphia and San Francisco. Now with the Eagles, I think that they can right their wrongs and correct their mistakes because they have the talent and the bullies up front along their offensive line. And I think they're just a little bit fatigued from that long season that they had last year in winning the Super Bowl. Unfortunately for the Niners, this is what it comes down to for me. And this is why I think these problems have persisted. I think it's the offensive line. So I asked that question. How does this keep happening for San Francisco? For me, it's got to be the Niners' interior offensive line. Trent Williams is not the player who he once was, right? And clearly his age is starting to catch up to him. You can still run it to the left side, to the perimeter. Colton McKivitz, I actually think he's played pretty damn well this year. You can run it to his side, to the right perimeter. But at left guard, center, and right guard, the Niners haven't been good enough. And San Francisco is getting bullied, which is leading to these run plays getting blown up. Connor Colby, just don't think his time is right now to play at the NFL level. And the Niners miss Ben Barch as dealing with that ankle sprain. Connor Colby in the ground game hasn't been good. Jake Brendel gets pushed around a lot, doesn't have a strong enough anchor. And unfortunately for San Francisco, it looks as though Dominic Pooney kind of having a second-year regression after last year. In his rookie year, he was fantastic. And when you're trying to run it, and especially in this Kyle Shanahan zone scheme, you like to run it in between the tackles a lot, and a lot of the run plays are in between the tackles. When you have a center who is getting pushed around and pushed back consistently, it really just wrecks everything when you're trying to run the ball. And Jake Brendel all year has struggled to a certain degree, and I just don't think he's a good enough center at the NFL level. I think he's completely average when you compare him to the other centers across the league. Against the Rams, in pass protection, wasn't good. Running it, you turn on the tape, he gets pushed around too much. He gave up 3 pressures. He was beaten an additional 4 times. And among centers in the NFL, he ranks number 25 in pass blocking, number 4 in run blocking, but I can't really trust the PFF numbers in evaluating offensive linemen any longer because these numbers don't make sense when you actually watch the tape. When you put some of the better interior defensive linemen over Jake Brendel, whether it's a run play or a pass play, he's always getting beat. Now, is there good news on the horizon? When George Kittle is on the field, the Niners are a much better running team than they are when he's not on the field. And he pretty much gives San Francisco another offensive lineman. It allows the Niners to play downhill more. And also, he poses a different threat to the defense because obviously he's an excellent route runner, a fantastic pass catcher, and the best all-around tight end in the NFL. So the return of Kittle, not going to be back for this Buccaneers game, hopefully against Atlanta, hopefully can get this ground game being more successful because right now, it just can't last this way. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for nonstop Niners coverage. Anytime I'm in front of a camera, on a microphone talking San Francisco, I want our content to be insightful, informative, entertaining, thought-provoking. I want you to have a voice. I want you to think about football in a different way. So if all that sounds good, hit that sub button. We're 173 people away from 176,000 subscribers. Our sponsor for today's San Francisco 49ers Report, our friends at Chubby's. And I know a lot of you really like the Chubby's Niners polos that I've worn here on the show. If you want one, you got to hop on this deal right now because it's only lasting limited time only. 20% off if you use the code ChatSports at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. A vibrant look, a fresh look, and a conversation starter. The leaves are turning, the temperatures are dropping, and the weekend air is getting that nice autumn crisp. Just because the weather is changing over doesn't mean you have to pack away the fun. Chubby's is here to make sure your fall wardrobe hits hard on a slow Sunday morning with soft, stretchy, fall-ready staples built for maximum comfort and minimal effort. The Chubby's fall collection just dropped, and it's packed with cozy gear that brings a metaphorical and real heat. There's the new Comfort Collection featuring the Everywhere Jogger. Who doesn't love a jogger during the fall and winter? It's the perfect pant for impromptu naps, weekend errands, watching football, everywhere in between. We all agree fall should be cozy, not constricting. And Chubby's delivers peak softness without sacrificing an ounce of style. So go ahead, break up with the stiff pants and embrace the fun side of fall. Comfy, casual, built for life, the Chubby's original stretch shorts can live on your legs. Available in long, short, waist short. You can get the classic line swim trunks, which we showed you. Niners themed. The Chubby's Performance Polos. They're great whether you're layering up for tailgates, lounging through lazy Sundays, or just leaning fully into fall comfort. Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our listeners 20% off your order with the code ChatSports at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. That's code ChatSports at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. Support the show. Show your thighs some respect with Chubby's today. All right, to the back half of the show. We have to have a conversation about Kyle Shanahan. And Kyle Shanahan, here in 2025, early October, needs to be in the conversation for Coach of the Year. And you think about what the Niners did against the Rams, but what the Niners have been able to do all year. 4-1, 3 wins on the road, some big NFC and NFC West wins, as San Francisco is also 3-0 inside the division with all of the injuries that have taken place and with 2 different starting quarterbacks. He has Mac Jones playing at a Pro Bowl level. Kyle Shanahan has saved the career of Mac Jones. And in that game against the Rams, the Niners beat one of the more legit teams across the NFL without Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, Brandon Ayuk, John Jennings, Ben Barch, George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Malik Mustafa. A lot of head coaches across the NFL would be chewed up and spit out. The game wouldn't even be close. Not only was the game close, but the Niners built that huge early lead. They shocked the Rams. They hold on. They come through in the clutch, and they win in overtime. And his team played with heart. His team played with discipline, unlike the previous week against Jacksonville. His team played with belief, and that's a testament to the culture that Kyle Shanahan has been able to build. It's a testament to the coaching that he had his team ready to play, where backups left and right were on the field with huge roles, and the Niners got that dub. For the 49ers to be 4-1, one of the top teams in the NFC with all of these injuries, it really is an incredible coaching job. And I'm glad that Kyle Shanahan has joined the likes of myself in heaping praise and giving credit where credit is due. Here's what Cowherd said about Shanahan and the job that he's done so far. I think Kyle Shanahan is having his best year as a coach. They don't have Purdy, Ayuk, Kittle, Jennings, Bosa, and Pearsall. They're 3-0 on the road. Mac Jones looks like a Pro Bowler. This is great coaching. They're the only team averaging 40 passes a game. Think about that. There's no substitute teacher here. They're asking Mac to throw it 40 times a game. Christian McCaffrey touching the ball a little bit more than I want him to. Cross your fingers on his health. But coaching matters, and Shanahan should be coach of the year right now. He's coaching his butt off. He really is coaching his butt off. And the 49ers have won all of these close games. Week 1 against Seattle, Brock Purdy 6 of 6 on the game-winning drive. Week 2 against the Saints, they win 26-21. Week 3 against the Cardinals, Mac Jones, Kyle Shanahan, the game-winning drive. It was flawless. You lose against Jacksonville, that's what happens when you turn it over 4 times and you give up an 87-yard punt return for a touchdown. Then you come back in week 5, 8.5-point underdogs, and you hold on to win that game in OT. And a big reason why the Niners are here, again, shout out to the SF Data Niners here with this chart, actual wins versus expected wins. The Eagles number 1, the Niners number 2. Who are the other teams that are contrary to the Niners overperforming and are underperforming? The other 3 teams inside the NFC West are underperforming teams in crunch time situations and in the clutch. And there at the bottom, toward the bottom, you see the Rams, you see Seattle, and you see Arizona. We are witnessing here in 2025 a heck of a coaching job from Kyle Shanahan on offense, but from Robert Saleh as well on defense. And analytically, they're like bottom 3 in special teams. They shore that up. That's going to go a long way in helping the Niners improve as well. Don't forget to give me a follow on X and Instagram at Chase_Senior. I'm reaching millions of people every single month, giving you free content here on YouTube talking about the Niners, and I'm doing the same over there. Get in touch with me.